Good evening, everybody. We are back for the third and final part of tonight's chapter. And this will be... Well, first, let's introduce our players again. We have Lost Without a Trace playing Twiggy. We have Scorched Ace 97 playing Cassidius. We have Ari Cypress Everly playing Adaya. We have Greymane Gaming playing Vanwath. And we have Morden 56 as himself. No, as Luther. And...
Luther's a lot more talkative than me.
It's true.
When last we met, Luther had heard a knock at the door and opened it to find a man dressed mostly in black with black dragon tattoos on his left arm and a scar across his left eye, holding a piece of paper saying, "I'd like to talk to your wizard." And I believe that was precisely where we ended. So, Morden.
Yes.
It's you. What do you do?
Is he holding the piece of paper out to me to look at it?
Well, not through the door, but you can see he is holding a piece of paper.
Alright. And what do you need from our wizard?
To talk to him. But he waves the red flag. I intend to trade coins for communication.
Okay. Luther will...
Give me my wand. I'll let him know what red means.
You're not there.
I mean, obviously I'm not planning on doing anything hasty. I came by myself. Hasty involves 4 or 5 people. Rash is usually 7 or 8, just so you know.
Downright foolish.
Have
Platoon.
terminology.
Luther would open the door,
Mm-hmm.
and if he's got the paper, he would add it.
He hands it to you. You can see that it is, in fact, in Cassidius' handwriting. And I will send you the letter.
I can actually share it with him
Okay.
because I actually have that on a Google Drive.
Well, I just copy-pasted it, so that works too.
That works.
What did you do, Cass?
Well, the
Your
paper's
message
going
is
fine.
too long.
Something that was supposed to say secret for longer, but apparently not. I have machinations happening.
Is this one of those moments where Luther walks up to Cassidius and starts hitting him with a fly swatter, saying bad Cassidius repeatedly?
You just give me
Well,
that paper, and you roll it up, and you start smacking him in the back of the head.
I think usually you might do it 5 times for a bad problem. I think you'll only do it 3 times for this because I don't think it's that bad.
Your opinion doesn't count. We don't go by your opinion.
I'm attempting to make allies.
There you go.
I am attempting to make allies.
3 segments. So while Luther is sitting there looking at this piece of paper, which is obviously in Cassidius' handwriting, because he knows exactly what Cassidius' handwriting looks like.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I was about to say he has probably forged it before.
More likely.
or at least practice it in case he needed to.
He is.
I see Morden not talking.
I'm sorry, I'm
Lauren's
reading
focused.
I'm reading the letter and getting further and further down the list, going, what the hell are you trying to do?
just leaning up against the signpost that is within view of the door, but not within reach of the door.
Smart people.
Well, he stands at the door reading a letter.
Thomas, I'm not allowed to have the fireball wand, so apparently no fireballs.
He's not even
tonight.
allowed to have a flare wand because he turns it into fireballs.
Yes,
They took a vote and they decided he wasn't allowed to touch anything flammable for at least 24 hours.
I realized we left him in the room full of the brand new magic
You guys
items that
gave
we
me
don't
all
know
the
what
good
they
stuff.
are.
Knowing what they were. One of them might
I will tell you, nothing creates fire.
I'm just
No,
waiting for him to
that
get
wasn't
one that
supposed to create
does.
fire either.
She has a point.
Technically, it is. Technically, it is. It is in the
I-
thing.
I'm
saying
just waiting
if
for
it
him
hits
to-
something.
I'm just waiting for him to be like being the one identifying something and then just like get a wand of fireballs and be like, oh guys, look. That's how it works.
Hey, look! It's improved! It's the wand of flares, but bigger!
Mistakes were made. Rules have been changed. Yeah, pretty much.
Really counting entirely on Adaya right now to keep us all alive from Cass's own silliness.
I mean,
Okay, then.
kept him alive this long. Maybe.
So,
Okay. So it's been a minute since
for
we've heard a
chat,
knock
you're not
on the
going to be able
door.
to see this because it's going to be too small for you to be able to read, but this is literally the letter right here. Dun dun dun.
yeah, there was a little bit to read, and I will be the first one to admit that I am
But it's
not
been a
the
minute since
fastest.
He was
Yeah.
he
And
went to the door and there was a knock, and we haven't heard any fighting break out, nor shouting, or anything else like that. So Twiggy's gonna poke her head down the hall and take a look and see him just standing there in the hallway. So we'll wander on up.
From
And I
from the
purposely-
hallway, all you see is him standing in the doorway with the door open and nothing visible, which
Yeah.
seems to be the motif when somebody knocks on your door.
Right? So I'm just gonna wander up behind him. Luther, you got bulletin draft? Hello.
There is someone there. I am just currently reading a letter I didn't know was sent. All right.
Did you sleep send a letter?
No, I wasn't the one who sent it. It was definitely Cass. So yes, let's go speak to the wizard.
Excellent.
He's a little busy. Hello.
Oh, he's gonna not be busy for a moment. Then. He's gonna start answering some questions. Because I already figured out a way to get to him, even if he doesn't like it. And it might be this time instead of a kick, it might be saying, Adaya, can you hit him with a club this time?
Whap!
Okay.
Hello, I am the
He
Twiggy.
lets him in, and he'll close the door behind him.
Hello.
You were here for the Vanwith?
Hello.
No,
No.
you're here for the Cassidius.
I am
That's-
I am Bryn Apkinwin Aptreidu.
It's not fair. My notes are on Foundry. I can't type this down.
I know.
This is
I'll
why
have
you
to-
gotta
I'll have to
type
re-
it in
I'll
a
have to
word.
watch it.
You'll have to watch the
No,
YouTube.
I'll have to watch these. All right.
Open up
I don't
Word.
have to. I will watch the YouTube to get my notes.
Open up.
Mental
Word. I have
note:
Word.
get
I'm not
more
gonna
views
open
if the players can't get into Foundry. Got it.
So Cassidius.
I'm identifying.
So
My eyes
Adaya.
That's,
my eyes are glowing.
That's a rather
Tracing.
that's a rather healthy pile of wizard you have there.
I'm
Yes.
currently tracing. Like my eyes are glowing. I got chalk carving into creating the new circle to. Because each
So-
time I cast it, it's almost like the circle dissipates into ash, and I've got to remark. it
So, giving that it's disappeared and he's recreating it, I can assume that he's only just starting.
Yeah, he's in between.
All right. If Cass, he will literally poke him between the eyes,
Okay.
right on this forehead.
Boink.
and the chalk fades to ash as the ritual dissipates. What? Oh,
He hits him with the letter and says, "Read it." Oh wait, never mind. You already read it because you wrote it. Now what's going on?
I will stand up and brush myself off.
Okay. He ironically has the same description that he had last week. He is 6'2", brown hair, shoulder length, scar beyond the left eye, but not in a way that damaged the eye in any way. 5 o'clock shadow, dressed in mostly black, has a black dragon tattoo on his left arm.
Does he actually have the musket on his back?
That's
Yes.
what I was about to ask.
You guys see a device on his back that looks like a bowless heavy crossbow.
That is very
That's
interesting.
what it would look like.
What is that?
I mean, I'd tell you it's magic. You'd probably tell me that it's alchemy. My artificer would tell us that we're both wrong. But it's the closest we can get to a historical Dragon Rider weapon.
Oh, shit.
This is let's say it's more of a dwarven design.
I will
It's my boomstick.
Yes.
flip
All right,
open
I
my
couldn't
book
help
and start sketching into it.
Okay.
Sketching out the design of it.
Ah,
He actually
You
walks
invited-
over and sits down at the table and will take it off and set it on the table so you can see it.
Oh, I am. That if he's like laying it out for me,
Yeah,
I
he
am
goes,
as detailed as possible.
you know how a crossbow works, right?
Yes, yeah. It
Don't touch the plunge.
got it. Got it. And I mean, I'm if he's offering it, I'm writing every note, taking every
Yeah,
every
absolutely.
detail I can.
You know, if he touches that, we're gonna have to tackle him, right, Luther?
Oh, I picked it up. My hand is actively staying away from the trigger.
So, Van, do you think in the next like 5 minutes I'd be able to figure out how to use that wand he had earlier? 'Cause I wonder if I could make his hair even redder than it is currently if he starts causing problems.
I mean, it's a try.
Twiggy is
Good.
going to come up behind Cass with Spoon
Mhm.
and go, Cassidias? You
Yeah?
invited guest?
I mean, technically, and I'm not making eye contact. Technically, I didn't like invite him. I just kind of wrote a note and told him to write me a note back. But it seems like he's wanted to come in person.
This is
Apparently.
fine. Invitation sent by you. You're being bad host right now.
He's offering.
No. You haven't offered a beverage. You haven't introduced him to people. Tell the other people in the house why he here.
It's like 10 o'clock. It's like what? Probably 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock at night. He doesn't want to snack. Do you want a snack?
I mean, I
Everybody
could
wants
eat.
Twiggy snacks.
Sure.
Kiss. Focus.
I will.
Focus.
I will. I will put that. Give me a second. What?
Twiggy's going on mom mode on him.
Focus.
Twiggy?
Hospitality.
As our wonderful chef, and if I tried to make something, it would be burnt. Would you mind providing our guest here with food and a beverage, a snack and a beverage?
Yes. Out from she pulls off of the sideboard because
This
she's
is
already
Twiggy.
brought one in.
Mhm.
She's got a little. It's just simple fare, a small selection of crackers, a bit of cheese, and a very good cup full of the mead that was in it. So it's a little chicory board.
Sure.
Nothing fancy. Just something snack
Not,
style.
nothing fancy. Okay. I might have to come here more often. Sure. Okay.
Hospitality.
This is our cookomancer at work here.
You make friends with hospitality. Support it.
I will finish my sketching, close my book, and thank you for letting me look at that. That is rather intriguing. I'd love to figure out. Did you make this? Did your artificer make this?
No. It's our artificer.
I would love to meet him someday.
Sure.
Figure out what he does.
He artifices.
Artifices.
Fuck off. Off both of you.
He actually does the at Luther.
Hey!
And Luther would repeat the gesture just because at this point he's making Cass as uncomfortable as possible because he annoyed him.
So
Yeah, just come by and talk to Leo. I'm sure he won't tell you how they're made, but he'll at least show you some of it.
DM, I don't have my notes
I know.
in front of me.
I know.
This
Open the
isn't.
program in time.
Is this isn't the sun, is it? Like this isn't
This would be.
what's his face's lineage, right?
No,
Or
it is. Yes.
Okay, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I did.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure.
he actually already announced himself as Bryn Apkinrick Abdregdu.
Right. Okay.
He did that before I, walked up and poked you between the eyes and then they tapped you in the head with the letter.
Right. Okay. Wonderful. So that did make it to you.
Yes.
Hi. Welcome.
Good on hospitality.
I was expecting a letter back, but this is more personal. So, what can I do for you?
I mean,
You can see the confidence almost drain from him as now he's no longer looking at a magic item that's pretty cool, and now he's faced with the person that he kind of just expected to be talking to through letters.
yep. I mean,
I think
that's kind of up to you, but I think that we should all have a bit of a conversation. Reasonably, my crew didn't want me to come visit you alone. They said this smelled like a trap.
We
But-
smell like many things. We're not a trap.
But I
Where are
kind
you
of
those
felt a
places?
little bit better about it after Borin was unable to scry on your position earlier. Because it means you're competent.
Oh, yeah, fair.
And we had already determined that you were not infernal. So if you're not bad guys and you're not idiots, that means you may actually be allies.
And that would be and I will. Luther, you are the only one that has read this so far, correct?
Correct. I've read the letter and he's still holding on to it.
I'll hold
But
out
he
my
hasn't
hand.
said it.
I'll hold out my hand for it. Can
And
I?
technically, I
have
probably
the
have
letter?
too, because I probably watched it.
Yeah, you would have already read
You
it.
probably
I would have
seen
read it while you were
Can I-
ready.
it. Can I see the letter?
He'll hand you the letter back.
That's fine. And
Yeah.
I wasn't going to talk about, and I'm talking more towards the party than the individual at
Right.
the moment. I was trying to see what I could figure out before I really addressed the party. Because again, this conversation was only supposed to be through, paper and pen, and I was going to figure out a little bit more before we did this. But I reached out to the Sons of Dragon. Cass
of the
Cass
Dragon.
would remember. I don't have it. Okay. Sons
In
of the
common,
Dragon.
it's Sons of the Dragon.
Okay.
In the ancestral tongue, it would be Borin Apdreg.
Okay. Well, I don't think I speak the ancestral, so
You don't,
I
but
reached
that's
out to
okay.
this- I
You're
reached
new
out to the
here.
Sons- That's fair. I reached out to these guys in hopes of developing a potential allyship and a relationship between our groups. The more allies we have in this situation, the better prepared we are in face of the Infernals. Hold on one
I mean,
second.
It's very good to be knowing what's going on with the locals, no matter where you go. That's just travel 101. But yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Uh,
We are.
Yes. You see. So I reached out, wanted to kind of just check to see. It seems like we have a common enemy in regarding the infernal beings that plague this area.
I'd agree with that.
It is of our, as I kind of wrote, we have an idea of how to go about stopping this invasion, I'd like to call it. Unfortunately, we are relatively newish to the area and could use some backup and or assistance. And as for you, as I said, we come with new perspective on how to take out these individuals. And I believe being under their rule for, well, this long, I hope you would see the benefit in that.
Oh, I definitely do. I just, no offense, don't expect the 5 of you are going to be able to get the job done by yourselves. I believe the expression is you and what army.
And that is the plan. If we could find a way of, I mean, I believe in my note, we have run into a different group. Well, obviously, as you can tell, we ran into the Necroficers, and they didn't quite agree with our ideas.
That doesn't surprise me.
I think it was more the Necroficers ran into us and decided they wanted more parts, and we mildly took offense to the fact that they wanted our parts.
And as you can see, well, they no longer reside here. So, we have met with a different group of the Fountain View 5. As I said, I'd love to hear your perspective on that group.
I mean, for amateurs, they're not bad at what they do. But
They're good and kind people.
yeah. And around here, good intentioned people generally don't last too long. So,
How long have they been running as a crew?
Speaking of which, DM Detect Good and Evil.
okay. Da-da-da-da-da.
The alignment on my sheet is incorrect.
I wouldn't know that she's casting that, right?
Nope. Especially not from inside your head.
Yeah, if you saw her actually casting, it would make a difference. But like, she's just like, and thanks for being the host. I'm gonna do whatever I want now.
How long it, well, see, I don't even know if I took care of that for the moment.
Face in your head. Be careful, Cassidy.
Why?
He can speak telepathically, so he can talk to you in his head.
I can talk you back.
I know that.
Okay.
She's
She's
being
just not
obtuse.
answering. She's just not answering.
Is he not forward with his intentions?
I can't tell. But he is of a rather evil nature. And just referred to the 5 of us.
Wait, no, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You
That
did,
was a mistake
actually.
on my part. We're going to
Okay,
rewind that. He said 4.
Okay.
That was bad GM. He said 4.
DM.
Okay, so yeah, because I got a little concerned for a minute, going, okay, how could he tell?
I heard that.
In my head, from there, I will quickly poke over to Twiggy, because I know Twiggy can talk an ear off. I will say in her head, talk to him for a moment. I need to see something.
We know that we're very new to this place and what we're doing, and the devils they've made with the big boomskis. So we do need to know more about. Do you know about the devils who are inside the wall and things? We've heard that they are as organized and their governing in myths is all odds and angles and things like that. And we've heard a few names of things. So knowing more about how they hate each other's and everything, that would be a good place to start so that we know if there's a string over here, you just pull it and the whole thing goes.
Unfortunately,
good.
I don't know any way to unravel the 9 barons. If I did, I'd already have handled it.
No. These things that, of course, it's never as easy as just pulling a string. But like we've heard the names of 3 of them, and now you tell me that's 9. That's more than we knew before.
And-
Thank you very much.
Actually,
Yeah,
we did
one for
know
each
that.
level of hell.
The other question is, how do I ask this? Because I don't even know if I can determine this.
So Ari just asked for a history check to see if she knows who this guy is. So that would be the die that you currently hear rolling.
Okay.
Not that any of you know what I rolled. Ha 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 ha. Secret die rolls tonight.
The question I have is there... I don't know how to ask this in game thing, so I'm going to go mechanically. Can I get a read on literally what level this character might be?
Even
Even
that
if
is
it's, an
actually a
insight
class
or
ability
something?
that you do not have.
Yeah, that's a Battlemaster
Yep.
study thing. So
I
I assumed, and that's why I was asking.
I can't see my character card right now. Don't I also have some kind of insight skill or something for a more direct answer to Cass's question about his intent or whatnot?
If
I can't
she's,
make a
Yeah.
roll on it.
We can roll on that.
I think Student in War is 3rd level, isn't it?
Pull something up right now. This is, unusual in that we have, we're having technical issues, so we don't have access to all of the stuff we normally do. So I'll just take a
Where's my
second
character
to
sheet?
pull this up.
What's on my character sheet? The downside of something like
The downside of having everything all in one place.
yeah.
When somebody locks the door,
Dude. I think I had something like that too. It's inside.
I also would like to use my free detect thoughts at this point as well.
okay.
Mm.
Not probing deep at this point, just doing the surface level, so he can't read. So he
Know
can't
your
tell.
enemy is 7th level, so she does not have
Oh, is it
access to
really?
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. But
Bad
I'm gonna do-
GM screens. I know, right?
I'm going to do surface level read thoughts. I'm not going to dig in, so he
Okay.
doesn't know that I'm doing it yet.
Smart call. All right. So, Ari, on your rolls,
Yeah.
your insight would say that unless he has been better at deceiving you than you are at reading him, everything he has said so far has been on the level. He said that his name was Bryn Apkinwin Abdregdu. The middle part of that, you remember Cassidius having said was the name of a dragon lord.
Okay.
Not a dragon rider, a dragon lord, actual lord, capital lord.
Okay. Okay.
And then I apologize. So it's so the Dragon Lord is the one, and then there was the Dragon Riders under that, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Kenwin was a dragon lord.
And then the rest of the ones that ruled were the Dragon Riders.
Right.
Do I know how the language works? Does that make him son of the Dragon Lord or servant of the Dragon Lord in some way?
I mean,
Do I know that linguistically?
you are not familiar with this language.
Okay. But it's safe to say I can say that he seems in one step removed from a Dragon Lord.
Yes.
In some sense.
Or claims to be, yes.
Or yes. He is giving his name as.
He is giving his name as, and he says he is carrying a weapon, which is a modern facsimile of one that was used by dragon riders,
Which I also don't recognize.
which you do not recognize. It's dragon
So-
stuff.
So yeah, so Yes, it is. He is claiming to be one step removed from a Dragon Lord. And although I have not, at this point, detected any deception in anything he said, he does not necessarily always have the same interests at heart as, say, Vanway.
I already put together that he was the son, didn't I? I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe we already talked about that with
Mhm.
The group is
Fountain
called the
Deep
Sons
Fire.
of the Dragon, so
right. But I think he's the only one left in the lineage of any Dragon Lords. I think they're just
Now, to be
a gang
fair,
name.
we do still have a common enemy. But you might want to be careful as far as trust levels go.
So, in regards to a potential allyship, how many?
Mhm.
You said your people were wary about you coming here alone, as you were afraid it was a trap.
Right.
What are their thoughts on a potential alliance?
They're my crew. They'll do what I tell them to.
That's fair.
Most of them are for it if you're good enough. Some are concerned that we don't know who you are and you just showed up in town and handled a known problem. That's either very beneficial or very much a blatant trap.
Sorry, DM question.
Yeah.
You said the Knoll camp
Mhm.
is the closest of the demon
Pillars.
pillars,
Yeah.
right? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that one's
Yep.
southeast
So-
of where we are currently.
Yeah, pretty close.
And sorry, have we learned anything? Like we've learned there's these pillars.
Mhm.
Have we learned like there's a pillar? What do we do with it? Have we learned
No.
anything?
Nope.
If we were to, and this is sorry, back into character. If we were to deal with another known problem, do you believe that might help put us in the good graces of both your eyes and your crews?
I mean, depends on what problem you handle, but it's sure not going to hurt.
Okay.
You're getting a look from Luther like, what problem? Like he's got that raised eyebrow questioning you.
I believe then maybe we should reconvene once we deal with this other problem, because I am pretty sure you will know once we have solved this little issue.
Fair enough.
Shall I inform you the same way I have with, and I'll hold up the letter of where to meet?
I mean, I don't think you have to go through anything that many steps at this point. Just you or one of your crew come to our base when you're ready to talk, and we'll talk. It's not anything out of the ordinary for crews to communicate and do trade with each other around here.
Just because I'm still wary of the group, can I insight?
Sure.
Can I see if he's just?
By the way, you've been reading
I'm-
Surface Thoughts this whole time. He is intrigued as to what other problem you're going to handle, but at no point has the thing he was thinking been counter to the thing that he said.
Okay, then I'm okay as long as his
Yeah.
thoughts are follow. I mean, he would have to really
And
know
he does
that
not
someone is
appear
paying
to have any mental defenses.
Right. So okay. So then, if he is thinking what he's saying and agreeing with what he's saying,
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
I
he is
I don't need to-
bog standard human dude with no mental defenses whatsoever and is not being duplicitous in anything that he has said.
I haven't
So-
detected any duplicity.
Then I will. Should we do white flag or red?
I mean, white flags generally draw less attention. Red flags draw less attention. White flags, people start wondering what's going on.
Then we shall approach. Well, I'm pretty sure you're going to be expecting us once this problem has been handled, but we will approach with a red flag when we should probably chat a bit more.
Excellent. So, are we
It
done
has
here
been a
for now
pleasure.
then?
It has been a pleasure meeting you, and I will hold out my hand for a handshake. I'm assuming people handshake in this world.
Yeah, as you reach out your hand, he grasps past it to grab like the inside
Grab
of
the
your forearm. Yeah,
I'll pick up on that pretty quickly.
which is which is a very militant, martial, military kind of handshake here.
exactly when we like hit. I
Mhm.
would like to once again in his head say, "We will talk about the other portion later." And I will as I do that, I'll give a nod at the same time I'm sending this.
Yep.
Just so he's aware that it's me. I'm coming through to you, type
Right.
of thing. So.
Okay.
And I'll shake his hand.
He's keeping secrets.
Okie doke.
But
You've hung
if you-
around with Luther too long.
Or not long enough, one or the other, because he got caught.
Yes, he did.
So I will take the time since it's my dude.
Yep.
I will walk him back out. And
Okay.
will you be safe traveling back? I'm assuming you should be fine, but you came here, but
As you open the door, and as you're saying that,
another person comes out. As soon as I open the door, I also would like to flip into Echo's eyes as well.
okay. As you open the door, you see about a quarter block away and like slowly heading in this direction. Let me close those real quick.
It's gonna be an undead army. I'm already calling it. The streets are just.
It's
gonna
a
be full of
trap!
Undead now.
You see
Dragon, please be a dragon. Please be a dragon. Please be a dragon.
It's dragon.
a human male in a black coat with another bowless crossbow on his back.
Jesus. Okay.
A female dwarf with a hammer that looks like it weighs more than you do.
Yes, it does.
That's the
I think we
artificer.
figured out who the artificer is. Yeah. They're never alone, Cass. What did you learn here?
A older than dirt wizard in traditional wizardry robes
I approve.
Looks like the Great Ack.
who looks like the Great Ack. Yes, that was
I'm gonna call him Tim.
that was accidental. And
I take it that's your crew.
an 8-foot tall,
Oh, God.
gigantic mountain of a woman. You assume mountain born, which is to say this world's version of Goliath.
Hey Luther, your type.
And she is most definitely holding an axe heavier than you while you have weights in your pocket and all of your books after
Possibly
being
heavier
thrown
than that
into a lake
Like,
with Luther on your shoulders.
Hey Luther, your type.
Any more cheese?
I'll make it work.
Biggest chicken board.
I'll make
Are they close
As-
enough to run detect good and evil on the whole party?
Oh, yes. They are definitely within 60 feet.
Okay. I couldn't remember the range.
anything invisible.
There is nothing invisible.
benefits of having a bat.
Yeah, it benefits of blind sight, except for the
Yep.
fact that you're
The-
blind after the blind sight.
Yep.
This one detects as evil. The rest do not.
Okay.
Oh, the big one detects as evil.
No. The big one is.
No.
You just haven't caught up
other
yet.
One with the other one with
The
bright
other one
color.
with
The other-
the other one with holding a flintlock detects as evil. The other ones do not. So you just got, as you just opened the door and said, "Are you going to be safe walking home?" He just turns to you as you see his crew, just about 15 paces from the door, and he goes, "I'll be fine. I told them 20 minutes."
Oh, fuck. Okay. It's been a pleasure. And I will.
It has.
I will kind of nod towards the crew.
Okay. None of them nod back.
I assume not.
He gives you a little on the way out, and then just starts walking as nonchalantly as possible over towards his crew as you close the door.
Okay. Can I? No, I won't ruin this because I'm gonna get caught.
Don't get caught.
You don't even know how he caught you the first time. Yeah, you're probably going to get caught.
Well, I was gonna send Echo to see if I could hear them on their way back, but I think I'll get caught.
And more importantly, lose Echo.
Echo can come back. We have enough gold.
Be very rude.
I'm trying to create an alliance here, so I don't want to ruin that chances. So I will do nothing. I will close the door.
Okay.
You know how you ruin alliances? By being rude.
As you close the door and turn around, your group is standing in the hallway staring at you.
Yep.
This is definitely a thing that's happening. Yes.
Twiggy
I didn't
is
even need to
right
ask
behind
them.
you,
I knew that's what was going to happen.
arms folded, spoon in hand, going, "You are going to learn much more of the hospitality.
He
Hospitality
didn't come here to be He didn't come here for dinner. He came here for a minute. You heard him. 20 minutes. If we wouldn't sat down for a dinner, we would be all dead because the giant would have crushed open our door. Not to mention what those bowless the crosses. I'm gonna call it crosses because who the fuck they're bowless, so cross. Who knows what the crosses would have done? I mean, I didn't pull the trigger for a reason.
You want
You saw the
allies?
crew out there.
Cass? You want allies?
Yes.
Hospitality. Hospitality is the basis of meeting new people, getting their permission to be on your place. It is the rules of negotiation at the fundament. Hospitality includes letting the people who are on your side know that somebody may be dropping in. You have to be hospitable to your guests and to your housemates.
I didn't expect anyone to drop by, and I will point to Luther. He read my thing. I specifically put in there, drop a note at this place, and we will continue this conversation.
Yes, but you
Now,
also are.
because as soon as you said yes, he's going to try to cut you off.
Oh, that's fine. And I am not surprised by this.
So yes, it was not a plan. Now, I will, from this point forward, if I know that someone is going to be coming over,
You are not
absolutely
sneaky. You should
I
leave
wasn't
the
trying to be
sneaky to be me. If you weren't trying to be sneaky, you were doing a damn good job at it, trying it, whether you wanted to or not. You were bad at it, but you tried. Anyway,
well, how
now
about this?
just let us know if you're going to try anything like this in the future. And if we're going to try and be sneaky about it, let me handle the sneaky part.
So you invited the Sons
will
of the
leave you.
Dragon to form alliance against Infernals. This is what
That-
you have done?
Yes, that was the plan. And in Luther's head, I'm going to say, don't mention the other part. I will talk to you about it later. Yes, that was the plan, was just to... We have the Foundry 5, well, 4, and as nice as I can say it, they seem next to as fresh to this situation as us, and if we're going to be taking out massive infernals, we need all the friends we can get. And so, as you saw, this group is, well, if you didn't pick up by the name, is one of the sons or the lineage of one of the previous Dragon Lords.
Yeah,
or
the
at
black
least
one.
wants us to believe that.
Or he wants us to believe that. Now, the question is, if we can get them on our sides, plus, unfortunately I don't have the map in front of me to read out the different gangs, but I would probably read out 1 or 2 of the gangs
Mhm.
and say, if we could get a couple more of these guys, that if we can figure out if they're trustworthy or not, which unfortunately my meter isn't great, but I believe we have a relatively holier individual and a very holy individual that are pretty good at spotting that information. So we introduce ourselves. If they be a problem, we take care of them as a problem. If they become allies, we take care of them as an ally.
Here I am telling you to make a roll, and then you're just going to tell me, well, I can't. So,
Hey, second, make a roll.
right?
Hey, second, I'm lazy. Roll for me.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would have gone and grabbed my dice. I just
It's
thought
fine.
it'd probably be better to be online. If we're doing online with a dice, we might as well use it.
On further contemplation, Ace,
Yes.
it makes sense if he were a Black Dragon Rider or the lineage of a Black Dragon Rider. It is more likely that he would have skewed towards evil.
Black dragons. Evil.
Because a rider's alignment inherently matches their mount when the mount is
So-
magical.
Then I guess my question to you is...
I mean,
are-
there are a lot of evil people in town, and the vast majority of them are not dragon riders. So it's not saying that he is what he says he is. It's just saying that for him to be what he claims to be, you would expect that result.
So then my question, well, again, my question is, does that mean magical beasts are inherently a specific alignment and can never break out of that mold?
They can break out of that mold, but they are, it's that, 95% rule.
Well, so I guess, and again, maybe this is Cassius being hopeful. If there was there is no dragon left at this point. If there is, my assumption, or Cass's assumption, is probably that they raised it. So my assumption is...
Or it's in the swamp to the north.
Or it's in the swamp to the north, if that's a surviving dragon. But I would assume if there was a surviving dragon, I'm sorry, but dragons are pretty dang strong. I believe they would be probably doing something in regards to the demons. Or devils. Sorry, I always get those mixed.
There's legitimately very little difference between the two.
I know, but technically there is, and that's why it
Right.
frustrates me that I can never get it right. I would assume that there would be... I'm assuming they would make themselves known if they had a full adult-grown dragon under their care.
Yeah.
So my assumption is they either have a hatchling, they have a young. That's my assumption, and I'm hoping if he is who he says he is, then maybe this black dragon isn't necessarily an evil dragon. He might be a neutral dragon. I doubt he's a good dragon, but
Cassidius, I'm gonna make an assumption that you're also talking about a creature that is much like us, even if it is a bit grander in scale, that is perfectly willing or able to make deals.
correct. Absolutely.
What's to say that it's not just sitting out there in that swamp because it made a deal for its life?
Yeah, I mean, there is nothing, and unfortunately, that's going to be something we're going to have to figure out. Because having a dragon in the attacks against devils or demons will be very helpful.
Ace, in your
Now-
head,
Mhm.
at least some of that party were evil. The ones carrying the unusual weapon,
The other one, right? Not him, but the other one.
both.
Oh. Oh.
Hence, be careful. So, I would not count too highly on them contacting a non-evil dragon if he is supposed.
Okay.
However, evil does not necessarily mean not trustworthy when common enemies are concerned. However, be careful.
Alright, well, how about this? I will turn to Twiggy. I will leave the hospitality to you. I turn to Luther. I will leave the sneakiness to you. And I will focus on being the magical aspect to this team. And I will go back to figuring out what the magic sitting all over our floor is. And if I know that we're going to have another individual arriving, I will inform us before the event.
And if we need to get your attention, we all now know the door knocker.
Bing bong.
Everyone go with that? Cool. And I will, without even waiting for them, I will go back and work on the
Finish.
identify.
Okay. And we're going to end that chapter there. So, before we finish up, as always, everybody, put in chat who you want to get the GM inspiration point. It can be Lost Twiggy. It can be Cassidius Scorched Ace. It can be Ari Adaya. It can be Greymane Vanoth. It can be Morden Luther, whatever name you want to put in the chat. And whoever's name, either both, I see the most of, they will get the reward. When we actually finish this up, Ace, we'll go through what all the magic items are, and we'll do a little divvy real quick off stream. But other than that, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much. Please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment down below about what you thought about the campaign. And we will, hey Crimson Moon, how you been? We will, yeah. So if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and do all of those things. If you want to join us on Twitch, this campaign is run every Tuesday, 8 p.m. to midnight-ish Eastern. We have another campaign where Gray, Cassidius, and Gray, Ace, and I are playing in Morden's campaign on Thursdays. So you can come by and check that one out on Thursdays as well. Other than that, pretty much every day but Wednesday, I'm streaming. So if you want to come by and ask me questions about the campaign, go ahead and stop by. Second Class Elitist, all spelled out. If you want to hit me up on Twitch, 2ND Class Elitist. And other than that, I want to again thank our lovely, lovely, lovely players tonight. Lost Without a Trace, Scorched Ace 97, Ari Cypress Everly, Greymane Gaming, and Morden 56. And if I look at the total real quick, who does it look like was winning?
It looks like Luther to me.
Yep, Luther.
I do see a good amount of Luthers. All right, so we're going to throw that one at the Luth.
Thanks, guys. I have no idea what you saw in me.
Probably you slapping Cassidius around. That's always worth it.
Luther wanted to do more than slap Cassidius after he read that letter. But he knows better, because that doesn't teach Cassidius anything.
So that's going to be it for us tonight. We will be back at this again next Tuesday, or whatever Tuesday you're watching this, if it's on YouTube. So we're going to do a crazy wave. We're going to do the fade out, and we will see you all again next Tuesday. Bye.